I'm going to begin talking about my greatest guru, who is Hanumanji. So Hanumanji is the perfect being. He is physically strong, mentally strong, he is intellectual, he is the perfect devotee, and such a role model for all of us. So he is physically strong. He is the warrior of the Vanara race. So a race with monkey-like features that are exceptionally strong and capable. And when you visit the gyms in India, you will see on the wall, not pictures of Arnold Schwarzenegger or other weightlifters, you will see Hanumanji. He is exceptionally strong. And it's very pertinent to mention this during this Olympic season. I'm sure people are aware of the great success that India had in the weightlifting. The first medal to come to India through Mirabai Chanuji won the silver medal, and she is a Hanumanji Bhakt as well. So I was so happy to see her success. And as we'll know, in Hinduism, physical health is very important. We feel that the body, the physical body, is almost like a vehicle, or it's likened in the Bhagavad Gita to clothes that are discarded at the end of this lifetime, to be then given new clothes for the next life. And so it is important upon us to respect our bodies, to look after our bodies, because ultimately it is an instrument that we use for progressing towards moksha, towards realization. And so as we are wanting to reach that last chapter of life, where it is our duty actually to detach from the world so that we can make most progress towards moksha, to be able to reach old age, we need to look after ourselves. We need strong immunity, and that's very obviously relevant in these days of coronavirus. We need to be doing our yoga asanas. We need to be doing pranayam. These are some of the preparatory tools at our disposal to progress towards moksha. They teach us how to sit properly, have good control of our bodies, how to control our breath. Because until we know how to control our bodies and control our breath, how can we control the rest of our senses, control our minds? So looking after ourselves physically is very important in Hinduism. Hanumanji also has very strong mental capabilities. I'm sure we all know that our minds, they jump around. It's likened to be, jumping around like a monkey. Our minds can travel anywhere at any moment, at a split of a second, and they can expand and contract. All the features of Hanumanji. He can fly across the universe. He can expand in form and contract down, shrink down to the size of a mosquito. And yet he is so stable because he has learned to control his senses, to control those animalistic instincts, those animalistic pleasures that come from identifying with the ego. So how has he done that? He's done that through total surrender. Surrender to Bhagwan Ram. He is the supreme devotee to Bhagwan Ram. And through that complete surrender, he is able to achieve the most amazing feats. He is supremely brave and determined, traits that we can all aspire to. And because he has freed himself, he is free from ego, he has his full intellect at his disposal. And that is why he is so ingenious. And this is some of the things I really love about Hanumanji, is just how ingenious he is. When he's on that difficult task to find the Sanjeevani plant to save Lakshman Bhaiya, what does he do? Because he doesn't know which is the Sanjeevani plant. So he ingeniously decides, well, I'll just pick up the whole mountain. The Sanjeevani plant is on here somewhere. I don't know which. I'll pick it all up and I'll fly it all the way back to Lanka to make sure I save Lakshman Bhaiya. Another example of his ingenuity is when on his flight to Lanka to find Ma Sita in the first place, he is challenged by a Rakshas, Surasha. And what she challenges him with is to only be able to pass through him or pass through her via her mouth. That is the only way for him to be able to continue on his journey to find Ma Sita on Lanka, is to pass through her mouth. And so they get into this competition of Hanumanji then expanding in size that he won't fit into her mouth. So then she opens her mouth even wider, so he grows even larger, so he still can't fit in. And this continues, this competition. And eventually Hanumanji, with this egoless intellect, he realizes, well, we're just stuck in this competitive battle of ego, essentially, of who can be the biggest or grow their mouth the biggest. I can, if I rid myself of my ego, take myself away from that competition, I'll shrink down to the size of a mosquito, enter into the Raksha's mouth and exit straight away, because then I'm still respecting the request of Surasha, at the same time of being able to continue on my most important journey to find Ma Sita. So for all of these reasons, Hanumanji is my Ishta Dev. He gives me physical strength. He gives me mental strength. He helps me to some extent, to my personal capability, reduce my ego. And in that way, with these abilities, I am able to protect Dharma all the better, to go about my life in a better way. And these are tools, this is knowledge, experiences that everyone across the world can benefit from. And we all know who Hanumanji's Ishta Dev is Bhagwan Ram, as I said. So through worshipping Hanumanji, I am automatically worshipping Bhagwan Ram at the same time. It's just that I find worshipping Hanumanji easier. Some people do. And it's a bit like, you can liken Hanumanji to a honeybee. He is carrying the nectar contained within the lotus flower, which is Bhagwan Ram, and he is able to spread it to all people all around, including me. So that is Hanumanji from my perspective.